we should be live in the building. I'm gonna wait for all of you to arrive, but there is some pretty major transfer news. I mean, finally, I know it's not us trying to sign a player, but we know that we as a club are the type that, sell in order to buy. And therefore, once we start to see movement in the transfer market, that's when I think we could possibly start to see some incomings, you know? And this news of the Wataru bid that was rejected, I think says quite a lot. And I want us to discuss that. This is going to be kind of a quick live. Yo, Chendo, nice to see you in the building, guys. Yes, like I said, this is going to be a bit more of a shorter live. I just wanted to discuss the news that came out about Endo and what it could mean about the summer, and to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to know what you guys are thinking, but then also just discussing, the Virgil, the Trent, the Salah extensions. I want to know what you guys are thinking related to that as well. And then Vandenberg we could talk about too. Nice to see you in the building. Gato, guys, how's everybody doing? Endo is leaving, says Gary Neville. Nah, did he? I don't see him leaving. Yo, Rockin', what's good? But yeah, guys, what I wanted to discuss was this 14 million euro bid that was rejected by Liverpool. But Fabrizio Romano is apparently saying that it was a couple of weeks ago when the deal collapsed, and that it means that now Marseille are focused on other signings, and it makes me wonder why the club would have let this news now come out. You know what I mean? Because James Pierce from The Athletic has just done a whole article saying it remains to be seen if the French club returned with a higher bid for the Japanese international, who's also attracting interest from a number of Bundesliga clubs. Liverpool aren't actively looking to move Endo on. The timing of the bid for Marseille, the lack of market opportunities available in terms of recruiting a replacement, and the current needs of Arne Slot's squad contribute to the offer being turned down. And it makes total sense. I mean, we don't have a replacement as of yet, so it would make absolutely no sense to reject. I mean, to accept that bid as of right now because of the place that we're in, and it's tough to find defensive midfielders in this current market. We can't hide from that fact. We can't hide from that fact. No, La Pulga, I still think Liverpool's going to I still think we're going to make another signing. I really do think so. I think we will see another signing. But yeah, guys, let me know in the building, first off, if you guys would sell Endo this summer, and if so, for what price? Because apparently there's interest from a number of clubs in Germany from the Bundesliga. So yeah, would you guys accept that offer? Personally, I just made a video on it, so I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I personally would keep him because I think he's a great squad player. You think about his mentality, he's that guy that definitely gives absolutely everything in training, and you want that kind of player to be around with that mentality. And yeah, I would personally want to keep him. You know what I mean? Especially if we're talking about like 15 million, that's not that much money in this market. There's not much that we could do with that. But like I said, I think no matter what happens, we need to sign a top defensive midfielder. Whether it be Ederson from Atalanta, whether it be Zubamendi from Real Sociedad, just someone who's quite young that can be developed, that has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? And those two players that I just mentioned, I would be happy with. But, whatever Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are cooking behind the scenes, I would be very happy. I just think we do definitely need to sign a defensive mid. Yo, Richard, nice to see you in the building. You're in France, right? No way, he was crucial last season, can help improve Bajetic, and his work rate is unbelievable, says La Pulga. I agree. I definitely agree. Camavinga, they would definitely not sell Camavinga, though. That's the problem. They definitely wouldn't sell. I lived in America for 11 years, and it's good, but I prefer living in Europe for sure. Most definitely prefer living in Europe. El Neni, nah, bro. He's too old. Shumeni would be the dream, but I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. Zubamendi, maybe? I would like Zubamendi. Amber Grace, what's good? What's good? Oh, Michael Burrows, nice. Laser, I'm not exactly sure if anybody else is in the building that would know how to become a member on here. Please help Laser Matich because there's definitely a way where you can click join, and but you might have to be on the computer. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but you should be able to. You should be able to. We need Alan. We need Alan back. Imagine we get the Welsh, the Welsh Furlough back. Go to the memberships tab. Yeah, you can do that too. Is it confirmed for the 15-year-old? Not yet. Rio Enma, who we're going to be getting from Chelsea, hasn't been confirmed, but apparently it's just tribunal things that are related to getting players from the academy. So it's going to end up happening. Don't worry about it. It's going to end up happening. No doubt about it. Hey, Liverpool X Edits, what's good? How you doing? Yeah, look, Go12 says you can go to Leo's, you can go to the channel and there'll be an option to join, which would be much appreciated. If you want a membership, go to join. Why are you guys talking about Drake right now? By the way, guys, tomorrow, because I know some of you were asking about streams for this week, on Wednesday, there will 100% be an in real life stream for the Arsenal game. So watch along for the Arsenal game. And then tomorrow, I want to do a football in real life in Iceland, another one. And because of how much fun that was. You see, Joshua Kimmich, because of the wages that he would demand, I'm not so sure that that's what I would go for personally. Personally, I would rather go for a younger option. Like I said, Zubamendi is my dream, or Ederson sounds top as well. Let's go! Liverpool X edits. Intense football session sounds fun. We need Joao Gomes. Nah, I think is he the best available six? I thought he was. I didn't think he was a defensive midfielder. Is he? Joao Gomes, who plays for Wolves right now. I think he's more of an attacking midfielder. I don't think he's a six, bro. I know he said he wanted to join Liverpool in the past. Do you think we can get Nico Williams? Definitely not. The kind of price tag that we're talking about and the fact that Barca want to sell him, I think there's a better chance he goes to Barca than Liverpool. I really don't see that happening. Maybe we should go back in for Andre. The thing is, the reason we didn't end up going for Andre and the reason Fulham didn't end up going for Andre, there has to be a reason that we don't know about. And because otherwise we would have signed him already, given the price that he was available for. You know what I mean? Maybe Vifer from Feyenoord. Again, I think with Arne Slot, he would have been able to bring him in already, you know? So I think probably we want to go for an even higher option, someone that could really come in and be levels higher than what Endo can be. So like a top class defensive mid. That's what I think we're waiting for. And personally, if you're telling me about triggering that release clause, which I believe is 60 million for Zubamendi, I'd be all for it. It's not my money, but I would love for us to sign Zubamendi. From what I've seen, he just seems top class. Lee Milligan says you would sell Endo. Okay, then I want to. Any Gordon news? We're definitely not going to be signing Anthony Gordon so long as we have both Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo on the left wing. I don't see that happening. No chance. No, so I'm from Iceland and from France, but I lived 11 years in the US, in New York. That's why I have this accent. But I'm not American. Definitely not American. Looks like a new signing to have Bajetic back. Yes, but remember, he's coming back from injury. And he's coming back from a long injury. He's still young. I don't want us to put all of that pressure on such a young player. I rate him so highly. For me, out of all the youngsters at Liverpool, he's the one I'm most excited about. But I don't think we should be saying, oh, look, he's going to be our number six for the season. I really don't think so. And that's not saying that I don't think he's good enough. I think he could be good enough. But I don't think we should be putting that kind of pressure on him because I want him to be able to develop, take his time, etc. And And therefore, like I said, I think we need as a top priority to sign a defensive midfielder this summer. And I personally would rather keep, especially for the kind of money we're talking about for Wataru Endo, I would rather we keep him. And I would rather we keep him as a squad player because, like I said, I think for the squad, he's that guy that just gives everything in training, and that's what we want around the building. You know what I mean? And and Kudus is one I would love to for the future at right wing, but the problem is I think West Ham would only accept his release clause, which I believe is around 80 million. Is Nico? Nah, he's not getting signed. Kante on loan, bro. I would love N'Golo Kante. I would freaking love N'Golo Kante. Who do I think is going to win the Ballon d'Or as of right now? Rodri. I do think as of right now he's the favorite. Just because winning the Euros, winning a major competition like that has such a big say on the Ballon d'Or. They just seem to favor international football. Zubamendi, me too, Chendo, me too. Yeah, Speedo man. But still, for his age, Endo still has legs. The problem is, I think Endo's main weakness, and some of you guys weren't happy when I put out that video saying we need to sign a defensive mid, but I'm gonna stick with that. Nah, bro, I would freaking love Zeremri, but trust me, we could never sign him from PSG. He just signed a new contract, and when PSG don't want to sell a player like we saw with Mbappe, there's no chance of us getting him. But um, but I would say, yeah, the Endo for me, the only weakness that which makes me think that we really do need to sign defensive mid is his ability on the ball. Like, especially with the slot system, I think we're gonna need someone who's much better on the ball, technically speaking. And I think we saw that in the last game. We saw it in moments this season. I think he's a better passer than some of us believed, but he's still not a top passer like Zubamendi would be, you know? And I agree that Bajetic is that player, but again, you cannot put that much pressure on such a young player, especially after they've come back from such a long injury. You know what I mean? And like I said, for me, he's the player I rate the highest from the academy. So I'm not saying he's not good. He wouldn't be good enough for Liverpool. I just think we need to be careful with his development. Leon, nice to see you. What's good? Hi to your friend Ollie, like Ollie Watkins. Hopefully Slot makes a signing soon because it got me worried, but there's still time though. 5% worried. Go 12. I'm not too worried just because of the fact that our squad is already so strong, you know what I mean? So I still believe, and the main reason I have like so much belief is especially the fact that Michael Edwards is back in charge and that Richard Hughes was one of the best sporting directors that was around. The fact we were able to get him, I think that once we do make a signing where we're going to be really careful, it'll be a top signing. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not worried because I'd rather we're really intricate with who we sign rather than just like United who just like go out and buy players. Although I do think the players that United have signed this summer, I think that Eleni Yodo is a top player. Like I told you guys before, I would have loved for us to have signed him. But I love this. I much prefer this approach of just like being really diligent with who you sign instead of just going out and signing the sexiest player out there. You know what I mean? That's not the way that we've really done business, and I think our recruitment has been one of the best in the world under Klopp, and so may that continue. You know, because Edwards is back, and like I said, Richard Hughes too is a top sporting director. So go 12. Which Stevie G shirt would you get? Look, if you're getting a Stevie G shirt, then you should get this one. This is the Istanbul 2005 Champions League final. That's the one you should get. Look, this one, by the way, that I got, I'm freaking in love with this one. I gotta wear it for if for if there's like news around the Dutch team, but look how beautiful this kit is. It makes me think of Ruud Gullit, but I just love it. Look, how sick is that? Euro definitely could have helped. Yeah, I would have loved Euro. And like I said, I've spoken to a lot of Lille fans who rate him so highly. So that's one that I think got away. But at the same time, I trust whatever other center back they sign or whether we decide to stick with Sam Vandenberg, I will back the club because of how we've been run. 9.2. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the most famous line. See, my bro Lazar says that the only price that he would start selling from would be 30 million, but we would never get that. I don't see why we would sell. He's our only number six. We need at least two players for that position to be type of destroyers and ball winners. And I agree. Like I said, I don't think we need to sell. And I think if we really wanted to raise money, we could raise money in other places. We could sign Nat Phillips for maybe like 5 to 10 million. Tyler Morton, a lot of clubs are interested in signing Tyler Morton. There's a few players in our squad that we could try and sell and raise funds, but we should have some money as well so that we can go on and get another defensive midfielder. See, Frimpong, you guys think we need to sign Frimpong? I'm not so sure. This is something I want to ask you guys because I'm really curious. Would you sign would you sign a right back considering we have Connor Bradley and Trent already there? That's what I wonder, you know what I mean? Because I just feel like I just don't see Trent being moved into the midfield under Slot. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do for the right back position? Do you think that Trent is actually going to get moved into the midfield? Because I don't think it's going to happen. I think his best position is clearly at right back. So why would you change? Why would you try to change something that's already working so well? And then if Trent is staying at right back, then why would we need another right back when Connor Bradley is incredible? Like, look how good he was, again against Real Betis, and every time he really played for us, I thought he was fantastic last season. So I would fully freaking back um, Connor Bradley to be that backup. So I don't think we need to sign Frimpong, even though I love him as a player. I definitely love him as a player, no doubt about it. News on Kubo? There's no news, no updates yet on Kubo. What's up, Ruby Games? But yeah, guys, let me know if you would like to see an in real life stream tomorrow playing football, doing football challenges, because I will do that for you guys if you want to see it tomorrow. It'll be during the day. I'll try to do it earlier because the last one was quite late. And I know that some of you in the other time zone, it's difficult. It was difficult for you guys to tune in and be part of it. Do you think we would sell him for 20 million? I think for 20 million, we could potentially sell him, yeah. I think so, if we got closer. If we got closer to that price tag. Look, I'll tell you right now what the most agreed upon comments on Liverpool goals, because I did a post on Liverpool goals around Wataru Endo. There's Matthias Olsen who says 114 million, and then we can discuss. Hashtag GOAT. Love that from Matthias. Then Santiago says he's at least 30 million, which I agree with. Like he's had a season already. You can see that he's adjusting, and now he plays for Liverpool, and he still has years on his deal. So I don't think for less than 30 million it would make sense, especially given the lack of defensive mid options in on the market right now. I don't think it would make sense to sell him. You know what I mean? And then we have the real Briel, who says, that's my bro, by the way, who says, why do pages act as though Endo didn't have a good season? I really don't get it. Sure, he might not be the sexiest midfielder in the world. Sure, we didn't sign him for 60 million from, Leverkusen or whatever. But the thing is, he did the job that was asked of him under Klopp. You know what I mean? He might not be the all-around package like Rodri is, but the way he came into our side and fought and gave everything, for me, makes him a cult hero already. You know what I mean? And I agree that I don't think Endo gets the respect that he deserves, and that's why I was a little bit sad when I put out that short, you guys, around us needing to sign a defensive mid. You guys thought that all of a sudden I didn't rate him anymore. It's not true. The reason I made that video is I said he needs competition, and he actually has said in a previous interview that he would welcome competition. He's even said that. So all I was saying is I think he needs competition, and that we need to sign a younger defensive mid who'd be ready to perform right away, so that it would be a top signing. But like I said, I think we're pretty much set in every position that we have this summer, and therefore I would love for us to just go big in one place, and for me that's defensive mid. That's my personal opinion. You know what I mean? And that's why when I made that video, I hope you guys didn't misunderstand, because I was not disrespecting Endo. I think he's a freaking legend already for the way he stepped up in difficult circumstances last season, the way he had to be thrown in. I love Wataru. But like I said, I think he would know that if we want to compete for a title, which Liverpool should always try. I know that's going to be difficult this season because we have a new manager and it's going to be a change in system and that takes time to adjust. But we should still ideally want to fight for titles. That's what Liverpool Football Club is meant to be, you know? And that's why I think we need to sign a defensive mid. And again, I freaking love Endo. I want to be clear on that. I just think he needs competition. But like I said, I would keep him 100%. I would keep him. He ain't for sale. Liverpool Newsworthy says no one takes my gum shield wearing warrior from me. But yeah, most people still agree that we need a new defensive mid, and for sure, we definitely still need a new defensive mid. You'd like to sign Hanko. So here's a question for you, Visionary Memes, who says I would like to sign Hanko from Feyenoord, who played under Slot and is versatile because he can play center back and left back. So here's my question for you, because I've seen his name being mentioned. Does that mean you would rather we sell Vandenberg to bring him in, or do you think you would want to bring him in on top? Because I think if we bring him on top, that's too many players in that position. Because it means we have Virgil, we have Ibu Konate, we have Kwanzaa, we have Vandenberg, and we have Joe Gomez. We shouldn't have that many in that position. That's just too much. I think four is really the right number, and then they have to fight for that position. And personally, from what I heard in interviews and from what I hear from Slot, from what I read about the way he's performed in preseason so far in trainings, etc., Vandenberg seems like he's a top talent for the future. He's just 22 years old, and there's a real part of me that wants to keep Vandenberg. The more I hear about Sepp and how fit he is, his desire, the season he had in Mainz last season in the Bundesliga makes me really want to keep him, you know, personally. So that's why again I go back to it. And even left back, you know, if Kostas is a backup or Owen Beck, then Robbo is still good enough to start. Of course he is. We also have depth at left back. So I really think, and this is what makes me excited. I think, you know, if I'm talking to Richard Hughes, I would just freaking beg him. I would say, look, we're not asking for too much. We agree the squad is a great place, but please freaking go all out on a defensive mid. If we want to compete with City and Arsenal, who have Rodri and Rice, we need to sign a top defensive mid. Thank you, Straight Smile. You'll never walk alone. I really appreciate that kind message. No, Benji. I'm not gonna believe. I'm not gonna believe those rumors about Trent until I really see them. I'm not gonna believe it. Who and how much was the bid? Not Caden. It was Marseille from France who bid 14 million euros for Endo that we rejected weeks ago. Exactly. Chase says Endo represents our ethic of hard work, and he's also a very humble player. So I think he also represents the ethos of Liverpool in that way, you know? Now Liverpool X edits. I think Gravenberg. It's not the time to loan him. I wouldn't loan him. I think he needs to stay and fight for a spot. I think he's already very good, and therefore I want him to stay at Liverpool. He hasn't had the chance or time to prove himself yet, and I'm really excited about what he could do under Slot Ball because he's a very technical player. He has the physical presence. He's good on the ball. He has a lot of qualities that I think could suit Slot. So I personally definitely would keep him. No doubt about it. Yeah. I Kobe Mainu is one of the only United players I can't help but love. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans can agree. Obviously, I can't show any of that love when Liverpool face United, but you can't help but respect him, and he seems like a real nice guy off the pitch. We need a long-term replacement for Salah. Yeah, I agree. But if it doesn't end up happening this summer, then next summer we'll definitely be signing a left-footed right winger. I just think, from what I've heard in rumors too, apparently Arne Slot has been trialing Soboslai on that wing in training because at RB Leipzig he played in that position many times and he was actually quite good at right wing. And given how good he is going forward, I wouldn't be totally against that idea in the short term until we find the right player to replace Salah in the long term. Do we need a left back? I don't think we need a left back. I still rate Robbo really highly, and I think he gets really disrespected. Let's go, Liverpool X edits. Wow, big up to Brett's edits who says I'm a Man United fan. I'm not here to say anything negative. Good luck for the upcoming season. I'm excited to see what it brings. Big up to you, Brett's. And just so you know, I think United is going to improve massively this season. So I'm kind of scared about the prospect of United this season, given the signings you're making and the way Ten Hag has been given the time. I think it was the right decision from United to keep him and not sack him. Laser Matic was able to become a community member. Big up, guys. W's in the chat right now for Laser Matic. I'm probably saying your name wrong, and I apologize for the pronunciation. Big up. Big up. Edson Alvarez, I'm not convinced, to be honest. I'm not convinced. Yo, what's up, XTT? We need to sign a backup left back, so you'd rather sell Costas this summer. I personally am so excited about the prospect of Owen Beck as well. I know he's a young left back, but the season he just had in Scotland, from everything I've heard, I would love to see him given a chance. I would love that. Salut says Leo, I'm a fan, but I don't think Liverpool will live up to expectations because of the lack of signings. I think it's too early to say that. If we end this window with no signings, I do think that's a real mistake. But I'm not going to judge it yet because we're not in August yet, and I think signings will come in August. I think we'll make 1 to 2 signings in August. I do think so. Do we need a new striker? No. We definitely don't because we have Darwin and Jota who can play there. And I want Darwin. I think this is a make or break season for Darwin, but I want him to be given a proper chance. I want us to be patient with Darwin. I want to see him get a lot of games because I believe in him. And I think Slot can hopefully get the best out of him, like he did with Jimenez, right? That's the keeper. I mean, sorry, the striker that he had at Feyenoord, Jimenez, who had a really good season. I think that's his name. Yeah, Santiago Jimenez, who, let me see his stats from last season. He's that kind of number 9 like Darwin Núñez, and listen to these stats he had last season. Let me go to his stats. Do you think we'll get Gordon? No, because we don't need Gordon. The only way I think we get Gordon is when Luis Diaz leaves. And whether that be, I don't think it'll happen this summer, but potentially next summer. So yeah, guys, in last season, guys, in the Eredivisie, in the Dutch league, he played a total of 30 games, got 23 goals and 6 assists. So that's 29 goals and assists in just 30 games. That's almost a goal or assist every game. And that was obviously under Slot Ball. And he's a classic kind of number 9. So that's what makes me hopeful that he'll be able to do the same and get the best out of Darwin. Benji says, hey Leo, I've been watching your channel for ages and you made me fall in love with Liverpool. Your passion and dedication are infectious. Thank you for the amazing updates. Thank you, Benji. That message means a whole lot. I appreciate you. You'll never walk alone. But you know what I mean? And for those of you that watched Jimenez last season, he's that type of like big striker who runs in behind, and that's where I'm hopeful. That's where I'm hopeful because Darwin Núñez, that's also his strength, running in behind, making those runs, and he's a tall physical presence. Just like, let me check Jimenez's Santiago Jimenez. How tall is he? Because I'm pretty sure he's that kind of forward. 182. Yeah, he's not that tall. He's pretty tall. And obviously Diogo Jota. For me, when Diogo Jota is fit, I think he has to start. I don't care where you put him in the team, but Diogo Jota is, I think, our most clinical finisher, and therefore we can't afford to have him on the bench. And we have to do everything we can to keep him fit. Everything. Oh yeah, I could see that go 12, but I'm talking about Santiago Jimenez. What Endo bid? FPL, it's Olympique Marseille that bid 14 million euros for him. Jota is so underrated. I agree. I don't know how he didn't start for Portugal this summer when you looked at some of the finishing from those Portuguese players. I think that was a massive mistake. Zubamendi is a good shot. What are your thoughts? Will, that's who I want to see come in the most. He's the one. He's the one I want to see the most. What's good, Dave? Your opinion on Soboslai? Good luck from a Hungarian City fan. Damn. So you must want Soboslai to still succeed at Liverpool, right? I rate him so highly. I just think it's all about being careful with him to not overrun him because that's clearly what happened last season. And I think, if he can be consistent, he can be one of the best midfielders in the league. And I'm freaking hyped to see how he does under Slot. So Soboslai, I think if he's consistently his best, I think he's one of those players in your team that you can't drop. That's how highly I rate him. And I think if he finds that level, then I think the two midfielders that we're guaranteed have to start are Maka and Soboslai. And then we'll have obviously a more defensive minded midfielder to balance out those two. But the good thing is both of them are runners. Both of them can also do defensive work. So I think the balance of our midfield, if we have, a top defensive mid with Maka and Soboslai, it's going to be exciting to watch. Under Slot ball. Very exciting to watch. Yes, Marta, I'm still in Iceland, but the weather here is not good. Someone was asking about the weather here earlier. It's just been pouring all day. I think it was pouring all day yesterday, and it's not the best weather in the world. Definitely not. What do you think we're lacking in the Liverpool squad? What I was just saying, we just need to sign a defensive mid. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, I fully back us to go on and do well this season, you know? Would you want Gyökeres? Of course, I would want. But again, how much he would cost, I don't think that's where I would put all the money. I will put all the money in defensive mid because I want us to back Darwin. I still believe he can make it at Liverpool. And I think a lot of us Liverpool fans still believe in him. And under a new manager, we'll see him in a different system, which could help him. And like I said, I'm hopeful that that can kind of unleash him because we saw when he was unleashed at Benfica in his second season, he was unstoppable. We remember that performance at Anfield that made us freaking sign him. He was unbelievable that day. Thank you, Freddie. Big up to you. Hopefully, we have many more watch along streams this season where we can celebrate and have really memorable days. Let's hope. Let's hope. What's your opinion on Robbo? I'm Scottish Liverpool fan and I rate him highly. I also think Tavernier from Rangers could really fit into our team. Yeah, but he's a right back, and we don't need a right back. It's what we were talking about before. We've been linked with Frimpong, and he's another one where it's like, of course I want him because he's so good, but I just don't think that's the position we need. And I fully back obviously Trent and Connor Bradley. Like that's two incredible players to have there. Um, but I still freaking back Robbo, and I agree. Maybe he wasn't at his best for moments of last season, but I still think when you got to keep and back Robbo because I still think he can be one of the best left backs in the world. I think it'd be really stupid to sell him. What about Conrad Lehmer? Nah, bro, he's injury prone and he's a bit older. I want someone that hasn't hit their prime yet that we can develop. Like I said, Zubamendi or Ederson are two names of that kind of age who are 24, 25. I think that's where we should be looking with a lot of potential, but that could already slot into the team and perform at a high level. That's what I think we need. I would like Benacer from AC Milan. I wouldn't be against that. I would not be against that. What's my favorite match from last season? Definitely the Carabao Cup final where we brought on the kids and beat them with that Virgil header in extra time. But what was your guys' favorite game from last season? For me, no doubt, the Carabao Cup final. We're gonna be talking about that game for a long, long time. And to do it against Chelsea as well, that was special. Well, a lot of you guys want Andre, the Brazilian Andre. Haley, are you looking forward to the Arsenal versus Liverpool friendly? Yes, Saka fans, so much so. And on Wednesday night we're gonna be doing a live watch along for it. So I hope to see you guys there. I hope to see you guys there. Oh, Liverpool 4-3 Fulham. That game was full of craziness as well. That was unbelievable. But I think you have to say the Carabao Cup final if you had to choose one. Surely, Chelsea £1 billion bottle jobs. Yep, that's the famous line now. Bro, I would love Camavinga, but there's just no chance. There's no chance that they sell. Real Madrid sell him. Just like Chumeni. I don't think they'd sell him. And Adam Wharton from Palace is another name that I would absolutely take. I would absolutely want. I would be very happy about that. Best player that I think will stand out next year, Bajatic if he stays fit. If Bajatic stays fit, I rate him so freaking highly, and I really want him to do well because he's a player that I've just always liked since he broke out. He's one that I just like. I would just love for him to be a starter and for him to get consistent minutes and stay fit. Go 12 says, would you rather have Darwin hit his prime or have Coutinho come back in his prime? Definitely Darwin hit his prime because Coutinho wanted to leave Liverpool. I want players who want to stay at Liverpool Football Club. And I love Darwin's desire. So if you have that Darwin desire and passion and you're saying he hits his prime when he was at Benfica and he was just unstoppable, I would want Endo because a goal scoring machine like that, if you just keep clean sheets, you'll win games. You know what I mean? And getting a player like that is tough. A goal scorer, you know. Do you think Alisson is getting old? He definitely doesn't look old, so I want to keep him for as long as he performs the way he's performing right now because he's top, 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 top. Do you think Trent is gonna go to Madrid? Nah, bro. Just because he was at Six Flags with Jude Bellingham does not mean that he's now just going to Real Madrid. Nah, he's not. He's gonna stay at Liverpool. I'm confident of that. I am. Definitely Barca. I'm more Barca over Real Madrid. Not just because of the pain that Real Madrid have caused us over the years, but also because I just have I love Barca's history, you know, with Johan Cruyff and the fact that Messi was there all those years. I grew up watching Messi, you know, and then I also love Thierry Henry, he was there. So yeah, for me, I always had more of a soft spot for Barca. And then on the other hand, Real Madrid also caused me so much pain. So what time is Liverpool versus Arsenal match? The exact same time the last friendly was. So it's at 12:30 a.m. UK time. So yeah, it's another late kickoff. Blue K says at the Copa America, Richard Rios was cooking for Colombia. Thoughts on him? Honestly, I didn't get to watch the Copa America, so I can't tell you much about him. I just saw that Man United were interested in him, and apparently his price tag is only around 17 million. So he seems like a smart signing for whoever gets him. But I can't. I'm not gonna lie and say that I've watched him play. I haven't. Yeah, I do remember the Liverpool 4-4 with the Arshavin show. And yes, like a fan, I'm still an Iceland. I'm going to be here for all of August. Is it? I love Eze, but he's another one where Palace, would ask for so much money for him. And I think which player do we need more, Adam Wharton or Eze? I think Adam Wharton because we need again more of a defensive midfielder, and he looked class for England at the Euros. But yeah, more importantly, we need more of that kind of player rather than an Eze who has more flair. Because if you talk about flair, we have that in our team. You know, like Soboslai can do a lot going forward. We have Fabio Carvalho, Maka. We've seen in moments can bring a lot going forward. So we have players who can make that difference going forward. But like I said, I want that defensive stability. That's what we need. Yo, John Nellis was good. Absolute legend is in the house. I'm not gonna hit the gritty right now, bro. Come on. I don't think we need Olmo. Going back, like I said, I would freaking love Zubamendi, but we don't need Olmo. We definitely don't. Even though, again, I rate him highly, just like I said about Izzy. Same thing. Same thing. What plays do I think we can realistically get this season if I'm being realistic? Third or fourth. That's what I just think to compete with Pep Guardiola and Arteta, who already have such strong squads and who know the league so well. I think realistically, it's hard to think about how we could finish higher than them. Of course, I'm going to dream and believe that we can compete for the title because we're Liverpool fans. We matter. Like, there's no point in not believing. But having said that, I just don't see how he could compete with Arteta and Pep Guardiola in his very first year. It would really surprise me if I'm honest. So if you're talking about a realistic finish in the league, I would say third or fourth place. But I don't know why I get this weird feeling that I don't think it's gonna be. I get this weird feeling that it's not gonna be City who win the league this season. I feel like Arsenal could actually do it. What do you guys think? Do you think Arsenal could win it, or you think City's gonna win it again? What are your thoughts on Ugarte? I would love Ugarte as well. I've watched him at PSG. I rate him so highly. I really would like Ugarte, but it looks like PSG are asking for 70 million. And if you're telling me 70 million, actually, this is something I would love to for you guys to know because they would be around the same price. Zubamendi would be cheaper, but if you could choose, and James, if I think you've watched both of them too. James is in the building, guys. Dummies in the chat right now for JSM44. Absolute ledge. I for some reason I didn't fully realize that you're here, but yeah, guys, if you could get Zubamendi or Ugarte, who would you choose? Me personally, I think I would say, oh, it's a tough one. I think because of the way we play under Slot now, it looks like we're a much more possession based team. We keep the ball. We need more technical players. I think I would go for Zubamendi. But if it was under Jurgen Klopp, I think I would have said Ugarte. And James is also saying, Leo, prediction for Liverpool this season. Prem, UCL, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. How are you guys going to do? Guys, let me know as well in the building. Like I said, my prediction for Liverpool in the league, I think we finished third or fourth. I do think we'll get Champions League, but it's too early to tell. It depends if we make that signing. Like I said, if we don't sign a top defensive midfielder, then I'm not going to be as optimistic. But I think we should be able to finish third or fourth, get Champions League football, and then FA Cup and Carabao Cup and Champions League, I back us to go really far. Just because cup competitions, we do well in them. You know what I mean? And we have a lot more depth now. So I don't know how far, but far. James is in the building, you guys. Wait, I want to see. I want to run a poll with you guys right now to see who you guys would sign. Who you'd rather sign? Who would you? And I'm also gonna put Ederson. Okay, hold on. Ederson, who plays for Atalanta. Hold on. Ederson is one of the options I'm gonna put in there, you guys. Zubamendi Zubamendi. Let me make sure I spell them right. Zubamendi. And then the last one is Ugarte, who plays for PSG, who was at Sporting Lisbon before. And remember, we were linked with him before already. Defo Zubamendi, because we've seen him on the ball. Well, I haven't watched much of Real Sociedad, so it's not like I've seen him a lot. But from what I've heard, he's the one that I would want. Richard says I'm a big fan of Ederson. James says I agree. I think fourth for Liverpool win either the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup and UCL quarterfinal. That would be a good season. Definitely, that would be a good first season for Arne Slot. But what do you think for City? I've heard you say somewhere, bro, that for I again I haven't watched enough of Ederson. I've just seen him in a few Europa League games, and it's true from what I've seen of him in those few Europa League games. I would want to sign him, but I haven't watched him enough, I would say, to give a fair judgment. You know what I mean? But but James, you said you'd rather City put all their eggs in the Champions League basket, right? You were saying that. Bye, Chendo. I hope to see you tomorrow. So let me see the results. So far, 100 of you, nearly 100 of you guys have voted, and I see 47% say 46% say Zubamendi, and then just behind is well, then it's close between Ugarte and Ederson. 28% say Ugarte, and then 26% Ederson. Yo, helpful Viper, nice to see you in the building. What do you think of this poll right now? We're talking about defensive midfield signings and about who you guys would rather sign between Ugarte, Zubamendi, and Ederson. I said it even before we saw the results of the poll. Personally, I would go for Zubamendi. Yeah, you about the Prem. You don't even care about the Prem this year, bro. How do you not care about the Prem though? You still have to care about the best league in the world. You can't just say you don't care, but you still focus on the Champions League. Big up all about Nico. If I didn't support Liverpool, I don't think I would be as much into football. I really don't think so. Because outside of Liverpool, I don't watch that much football, if I'm being perfectly honest. You know what I mean? So I think if I didn't fall in love with Liverpool, I don't think I would be a big football fan. Because I have a lot of other interests in life, so yeah. Nah, UCL for me. Let the Tottenham Bottles actually win something. Although to be fair, I think Tottenham could keep on it. The league next season is gonna be so competitive, bro. God damn. God damn. Because you think about like Tottenham is surely gonna keep improving. Chelsea have to be better than last season, surely. I know they just lost to Celtic in a friendly, but surely they have to be better. They can't be worse than last season. And obviously City and Arsenal, like I said, I think that they surely have to finish first and second. Let's go 12. I'm also a Leeds supporter now, so any love I see towards Lille, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. David Lynch, by the way, who's a really reliable journalist for Liverpool, said that it's my understanding, said, quote, it's my understanding that the player, and they're talking about Wataru Endo, hasn't quite worked his way into Slots' plan so far this preseason. Maybe that's why the club is looking to sell him. Maybe, like I said, the way we're going to be setting up under Slot is going to be different. It's going to be more possession based, and therefore maybe Wataru Endo doesn't fit his system as well as the system we played, which was much more like just fast flowing, fast attacking football, high press that we played under Jurgen. How much could you get for Endo? I think the maximum we could get would be 20 million euros. That's my guess. We signed him for around that amount. I think we signed him for 60 million pounds, which is about 20 million euros. So I think that's the max we could get. And like I said, I personally want to keep him because he's a great squad player. But again, I'm reading now from a reliable Liverpool journalist that apparently he hasn't worked his way into Slots' plans. That's his understanding at least. but it doesn't surprise me so much because of the fact that, of course, things are going to change once Slot is now the manager, and he's had time to assess the squad, and maybe he's seen Endo's qualities, which are less possession based, and he thinks, that he just doesn't suit his system. Zubamendi loves possession, almost a perfect signing. Yeah, I would love him, and he's still just 25. And okay, Straight Smile says, "Yo, Leo, who do you think is the best out of Saka, Palmer, and Watkins, who all did great in the Prem last season?" Yeah, guys, let me know if you had to start, bench, sell Saka, Palmer, and Watkins. That's tough. I think if you're asking me from last season, I think I would start Palmer, bench Watkins, and sell Saka, or start Watkins, sell Palmer, and sorry, start Watkins, bench Palmer, sell Saka. And again, I love Saka. I would love Saka at Liverpool, but I don't think he had the best season last season for Arsenal. And I think both Watkins and Palmer had outstanding seasons. Oh, wow, you would sell Watkins, says James. I think he was unbelievable last season. Unbelievable. The numbers he got for Villa. And it's not like he's only a numbers kind of guy. He also just presses. He's such a team player. You look at the amount of assists he got. Bro, I'm sorry. I love Saka. Like I said, I would if you ask me to about taking Bukayo Saka at Liverpool to replace Salah, oh my god, I would take him in a heartbeat. I freaking love Bukayo Saka. But the two other players you just mentioned had insane season last season. That's why I had to go for that. Yeah, I've seen the picture. I've seen. I'm still so confident that Trent is going to stay at Liverpool. What do you think, James? Though, do you think there's actually a chance? Do you think there's actually a chance that Trent leaves Liverpool? Yeah, I'm not a Saka fan. Trust me. If you ask me who would I take of the three at Liverpool, I'm going for Bukayo Saka. That's a different question because we need a right winger for the future. And if I had to choose one of the three, I would sign Bukayo Saka for Liverpool because I also think he fits the ethos of Liverpool Football Club. Such a hardworking, humble guy, and I think that's what we want at Liverpool. So if it's about who I would take at the club, like I said, Bukayo Saka, and that shows how much I still highly rate him. There is a chance because if Real Madrid come calling, it's hard to say no. Trent gets a lot of stick. He would be unreal in Madrid system. Don't say that, bro. I was just I wasn't even asking you the question. All I wanted to hear from you was Leo, he's staying at Liverpool and he's signing a 5-year deal. Okay, bro? I wasn't asking for your honest opinion because I can't accept the honest opinion. I can't. Who do I think is gonna win the Ballon d'Or? As of right now, I think it's gonna be Rodri because, like I said before, the Ballon d'Or voting seems to always favor the international competitions, and that's why, yeah, I think that he's gonna stay. I think right now the favorite, sorry, is Rodri. Yeah, nah, he's gonna be Liverpool captain one day, surely. Has to, has to. Let's go. James says, my honest opinion, he'll sign the deal and retire Liverpool. He'll be a Stevie. Love that, bro. Love that. All right, you guys. All right, you guys. That is gonna be the end of tonight's stream because I think I'm gonna go watch a film right now. But it was so good to have this quick little chat with you guys. And like I said, tomorrow I will see you guys for an in real life football challenge. I wish you were here, James. I wish we could do that football challenge together, but I'm sure in the future we'll get to do that. I'm sure we'll get to do it, and I'm really looking forward to that stream. But yeah, tomorrow, guys, in real life stream in Iceland. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I will see you guys. What film? I haven't decided yet, but I'm excited. So yeah, you guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your night, and hopefully we get more transfer news very soon. You'll never walk alone, guys. All the best. I'll jump to Lille for a kickabout anytime. That'll be so sick, bro. All right, peace, guys. Have a lovely night, guys.